Me on Chippo fishing again. We're at Sharon Harris. It's warm. It's gonna get warmer. Mad Dogs and Englishmen. Okay. Got a full crowd. It's a Saturday. Bunch of wakeboarders. So here we are. But the wind's pretty light. May get some fronts coming in. We got a little tropical depression hurricane in the islands going to work its way up. Probably Monday we may start getting some weather from it, maybe a little bit later. Today's strategy, I'm going to fish some brush piles. Just try. Let me say this, for those of you that are just comfortable with one thing, one style, I would suggest that you go ahead and do that style, but at the same time you've got to push yourself to redo and change up your strategies. Crappie are constantly changing conditions, constantly. So I would suggest that you would press yourself, try different strategies, try to figure out where the fish are. First thing, find the bait. As Mr. Anthony and Fish the Moment suggests, Fish the Moment, great channel. Mr. Anthony, Walking on Water. Y'all check them both out. But start off at a point, cruise both sides. On the shallow side, the deep holes, find where the bait is, then start marking fish. Look for your top of the lines, how those change, and once you leave that area or look for other areas, look for similar conditions. Try to match things up. Try to get some type of a pattern so to help you develop later on. All right, here we go. All right, got a catfish on a new rod, the Jinko Big T X19. Catfish was in the brush, which probably explains. So let's see what this rod's all about. Ain't nothing but a 3-pound fish, so we're gonna boat flip him. Hold on, folks. Boat flipped. All right, here we go, folks. On the Chippo jig. My clip broke, but I went after another catfish. I like the way this X13 loads up when it gets hit. This might be a bigger fish. He's staying down. Nope, same size. So hey, this crappie hurdle is a catfish hurdle. That's all right. So I'm gonna give it an extra line. And you always got to test out a rod, see what it's made out of. Probably wrong, but when I get a rod, I'm like, what can I do to break this without human error? Which is always pretty much. So not a big catfish, but 3, 2, 1. Dinner, nothing but nuggets. The old X13 and the Chippo jig. Quite the combination in the brush pile. What I'm doing is, here's my brush pile. Here's my brush pile. I'm dropping it down and letting it go through and wiggle it around to the bottom. And when they hit, they hit. And you gotta give it time and let them swim away. You can feel the outside as they're working towards the outside, the branches, luckily and hopefully, and then they'll free themselves. Nothing but nuggets. All right, folks. Thanks again for joining me on Chippo fishing. Osprey and the thundercloud. crappie. I just didn't want anything I had, minnows and jigs, but that's okay. I'll be back, and they'll be here. All right, thanks again for joining me on Chippo Fishing. I appreciate you. Little blow coming in, matey. Little calm before the storm. Chippo fishing, off condition. Appreciate y'all viewing, subscribing. 3 catfish today. So, a little wet. Saves on the shower water. So, yeah, I caught 3 catfish. So we got some nuggets tonight. Thanks again for viewing us. Peace.